we're going to talk about their inability to tackle and all. Listen, Max Crosby could be the defensive player of the year. And when you look at this defense on paper, they don't have a ton of names that you're going to recognize. And the Chargers ran all over the board with these guys. You see people breaking tackles left and right, but they've got some dudes on the defensive line that can play. I like their middle linebacker, but you see stuff like this. Why is this a problem? 91 is Nichols. Comes straight up field, easy cutoff block. 51, getting blocked by the tight end on the backside. Huge, lane discipline problems. Over pursuit by number 1. Over pursuit by 25. Poor breakdown by, you have opportunities to make plays in the run game. This isn't even Austin Ekeler. You got a 5-down look. And you got 600 pounds a tackle on this guy, right? There's 600 pounds tackling this dude. Runs right through it. And ends up going for, another 20 yards. And the point is, if you see a team that's struggling with the fundamentals of football, you just exploit it by getting north and south as many times as possible. You find the guys, especially on defense, that aren't about that life right now in the tackle game. They're the guys that are ducking their head, throwing at the legs. They're the guys that are just trying to arm tackle and not bringing their feet. And you try to exploit them as many times as possible. That's the game. There's a global schematic way to look at this. Oh, here's the personnel groups that we like. Here's the formations that we want to run because we want to exploit this in the passing game, et cetera. Then there's hey, that guy doesn't like to tackle a lot. Let's make sure he has to make a tough decision every play. It's all part of it. We got to find the right combination. You see a lot of times they will telegraph safeties coming down. See here in this look, you see multiple times in this game at the second level of the third level of the defense, they have some insert errors. This is one of them. As a play flows out, you can't have two people playing contain. And there's just massive gap left. So what I'm saying is get the defensive line flow in one direction, get their shoulder pads turned to the sideline. This is a great game from middle zone, outside zone with that opportunity to cut back. Because they don't insert the right way necessarily at the safety position. I think we'll see another one here. Same play. We'll go to the next one. And you see them shift over. And look, I could be wrong on this, but very, very rarely are you going to want the safety to hit the A gap and have the fullback fold over. And so I could be way, way off here. But in my estimation, that space, usually as an offensive line, you have to make a call. When you see that circle, you got to make a call. You got to know that somebody's coming down. This is an indicator. So you got to account for that space. There's going to be somebody who shows up. But then when you watch this play and you see one going into the A gap, it's like, where are you going? Doesn't make any sense. And now this play ends up working out for the Raiders because, quite frankly, 24 does a good job. 5 gets over the top. But I could pretty much guarantee they're not trying to shoot their safety into the A gap and have the linebacker play spill over the top. Are you going to make the play at the line of scrimmage? If we run our kick stuff, we run our outside zone. If we leave it up to the cornerback to make the tackle, are you going to attack or are you going to give us 8 yards? I mean, when you're building out this game plan, it's like, what do you want to do? Who's not hitting the line of scrimmage hard? Who's not trying to reset the line of scrimmage? Because they've got some dudes inside that'll do it. You're in Las Vegas. Max Crosby is now playing at Allegiant Stadium every Sunday, and this guy's an absolute show. I'm serious when I say he might be the defensive player of the year. He's as I don't know if I've seen a guy winning or creating as many problems in a game against an offensive line as when you turn on the tape with this guy since JJ Watt. And that's high praise. I get it. This guy's absolutely out of control. He's just got the way that he's built, his angles. He's got strength, but he's not big. But he's just awkward as hell to try to block. And this play, this play goes unnoticed. And he's playing against the Chargers offense, best offensive lineman, first round pick out of Northwestern. He gets a hand on Herbert, and turns this into a bad throw. And it's just, all the move, it's just so awkward. It's like playing with Plastic Man or something. The guy's unbelievable. I think he's up at the top here. Yeah. And this guy exploits bad footwork. If you're taking flat sets on this guy, yeah, you're in Vegas, man. You want to make some bets. You dare me to set flat? The right tackle right now is telling Max Crosby, dare me to set flat on you? Because if you do, Max is just hoping, hey, flat set, bye-bye. This happens all the time on tape with this guy. They're afraid for him to build momentum, so they don't set back, they don't line set, they don't do the right thing. Get beat, folds his quarterback in half, almost loses Staley again for the season to the right tackle. He can do it in the run and pass game. You think, he's not that big of a guy, but the way that this dude plays, just awkward with his angles. Does such a good job of showing hands, making people miss. That 70's an all-pro. I mean, 70 is one of the top 5, 6 tackles in the National Football League. And Max had himself a game. I spelled that wrong. Good players exploit poor footwork. I can't believe I don't know how to spell. But good players exploit poor footwork here. And this tackle takes poor footwork, and it's just, again, it's just too easy for these quality of players. If you're a Max Crosby type, you just exploit bad pass sets. The other guy I wanted to bring up here, and I think we'll get a couple more snaps from, is this John? I think it's John Jenkins, 95, doing a good job of pressure, beating that left guard, and really giving Herbert nowhere to step up. And you're going to see in the run game a couple times, 95, 90. These guys can get after it a little bit in the run game. I like 51. So they drafted Tyree Wilson, I think out of Texas Tech. We did a spot on him. I thought everybody likes him because he's tall, he's angular, not as ready for prime time. I think, in my opinion, Malcolm Kuntz, a third-year guy, is kind of the rising star on the other side, number 51. I like what he showed. Beats Ronnie here, number 70 again, for a pressure. He's an elite left tackle, and I'm just saying all this time it's a bad set. But you're saying this because it's, the Raiders, the record, everything's, there's bad news out there all the time. And they've got some players on their team. They have talent. This play only happens in Vegas. That's all I could say. I've never seen anything like this. You watch this play. So first off, Max Crosby beats the left tackle again with an arm over. Unbelievable Plastic Man play. Almost gets Herbert. Now, right here, Herbert's put the ball over number 5, their middle linebacker, Diablo. It's all fully extended outside his shoulder pad on the other side of his helmet, and he's wrapped up. Pulls the ball back. 5's going, where'd the ball go? Because he had to have fumbled it. Justin Herbert is such a freak of nature that he managed to not only not fumble that ball, he scrambles away and completes his ball 20 yards downfield. Only in Vegas, baby. Only in Vegas, man. Gotta love it. Now, this is the stuff Max and company pressure Herbert, get him to throw off balance. They throw a pick. and this is why I miss football. And I listen, people are gonna probably hate on me for this. These not being able to crack back block. I have to tell you, when I was playing offensive line, and I remember Warren Sapp got Chad real bad. It's you got to have your head on a swivel. It's part of it. Used to be part of the game. And I remember you get in this situation, and you would be like, "All right, I got to keep my head on a swivel, man, because someone's coming for me." And if you didn't, you just got lit up. And I know there's player safety, and blah. I get it, but man, this is that's a fun hit. That is a fun hit. Fun sport. Talked about 95 before. I think these guys do a good job. You think about the matchup with Myers in the outside zone. What can stop it? Well, penetration, right? Josh Myers is going to have good footwork, gain leverage to that first step, second step in the ground, strike with an inside hand, stay on his track. These guys can do a good job of resetting the line of scrimmage and make some plays in the backfield. It's the same thing on the other side here with 69 Adam Butler making plays in the backfield. If you allow them to, if you are going to give up your chest, if you are going to take a long first step, you're going to step behind you. These two interior defensive tackles, I think neither of these guys even start. They're, for me, in their nickel look, they're actually a better run defense because of these two players. You see on the bottom here, they do a little rub route, and you start thinking about the secondary for the Las Vegas Raiders. And they've kind of like, they'll show you a lot of stuff. They'll show you man, they'll show you too high, they'll show you single safety, and where they're trying to mask it, but they're not really doing a good job. We saw the run inserts earlier in the game, but the rub routes, all the bunch looks, all the 3-by-1 stuff, it all plays. It's all over the tape. You see here, they're trying to figure out how to play this bunch. Outside man is being covered by a guy who's 7 yards off the line of scrimmage on a play from the 8-yard line. Inside slant off of the bunch release. I mean, just walk-in stuff. Like there are just all over the tape multiple games of there's opportunities here because of the way they're playing ball right now. And, sometimes they get the right play call against the right defense. You just never know. But if you're going to leave this kind of space, which a guy like Christian Watson, you got a guy like him. I mean, listen, this is the benefit, right? Everyone's giving this guy 10 yards of cushion because they're worried about the speed. These are big plays. These are explosive plays in the passing game you can hook up on. And then certainly Herbert's got a rocket arm, but Jordan Love's got an arm of his own. And we haven't seen this yet, speaking of Christian Watson, of their safety, for whatever reason, turns his body away from the, that's a 2-by-2 look. He turns his body away, doesn't backpedal, and then has to rotate all the way back over and try to get to this. I mean, if you got speed like Christian Watson on the field, it's just a play that's not going to happen. I would say about the Raiders defense in a nutshell, they haven't, they're not bottom of the league, but they're certainly not where they want to be. And they haven't, aside from Max Crosby, there's just a lot of opportunities there. But these are the kind of things, and we've talked about this with the Green Bay Packers and the ability to tackle and just make plays when plays need to be made. They bring the house. Herbert steps up. They get multiple hands on this guy, and they just can't get him down before the first down to ice the game. And so that's kind of what you're seeing.